Joe Biden is delaying the release of top-secret JFK files because he needs more time. How much more time? It's ages ago! Hello there, you 4 million marvels. Don't be childish. Today we are talking about JFK. We're talking about conspiracy theories and conspiracy facts. Why are there even top secret files around JFK? Why is there? Think for a moment. What do you think it is that's in files that you can't be told? My assumption is there's information in there that if you knew it, you'd go, what? Oh, so we actually can't trust the government and shouldn't trust the government and never will be able to trust the government. What else are they lying to us about? So the fact that it's being delayed itself, or even exists, is an admission of a kind of guilt. I know there is such a thing as information that is sensitive and has to be controlled and protected from our enemies. I get all of that. But also, let's face it, the biggest enemy of any government is the people that it governs. Let's have a look at this story. President Joe Biden, remember him, has further postponed the release of secret government files related to the assassination of President JFK, citing delays caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Why would that make a difference? Well, we'd love to release it, but just think of the coronavirus symptoms. Cough, loss of smell and taste, and also reacting really badly when you find out your government's been lying to you for 50 years. The files had originally been scheduled to be released by next week. They will be released now in 2 batches, one later this year and another late in 2022. They've always been meant to be releasing these files about JFK, haven't they? And they never release them. And then when they do release them, it's always redacted black bits on it. What's the black bits? You wouldn't have liked that bit. Well, that's the bit I want. Tell me the bloody truth. Will you please just tell us the truth about what you're doing? We can't tell you that, otherwise you wouldn't cooperate with us. They will now be released in 2 batches. Here's a little bit of the lies we've been telling you. One next week and one at some point in late 22. According to the memo, the postponement came at the recommendation of the National Archivist, who said the pandemic has had a significant impact on the agencies responsible for reviewing each redaction in the documents. Like, how long do you need for it? When are you going to tell us about, like, other conspiracy theories? Oh, you're crazy, that's a conspiracy theory. Oh, you're crazy, that's a conspiracy theory. Well, if it's such a crazy conspiracy theory, how come you have to redact all the information and keep the files? When did you become so cynical? The archivist has also noted that making these decisions is a matter that requires a professional, scholarly and orderly process, not decisions or releases made in haste. We can't hastily release things 70 years after we told those lies. I mean, after it happened, we got really slowly. I really resent the language as well, like as if there's this class or caste of people that are all professional and know what they're doing, rather than, look, we've lied. We're about to admit it because it's stitched constitutionally into our systems that we have to release it eventually, and it's going to make us look bad, so we'd like to delay it further, please. Not decisions or releases made in haste, Biden wrote, adding that he agreed the agencies needed more time. We can't release this information. It would be insensitive. 70 years ago, everyone involved is dead, even the ones you didn't shoot. Temporary continued postponement is necessary to protect against identifiable harm to military defence, intelligence operations, law enforcement, or the conduct of foreign relations that is of such gravity that it outweighs the public interest in immediate disclosure. Wow, look at this language. This is it. This is, now we are in Orwell land. Temporary continued postponement. That's bureaucratic poetry, that. Temporary continued postponement. It's only temporary, but we are continuing to postpone. Protect identifiable harm to military defence. Oh, right, yeah, because you're doing such great work there with the military, like the withdrawal from Afghanistan that was so deftly and brilliantly handled. And recently, another conspiracy that war was only to make money for arms manufacturers out of the purse of ordinary public folk. Raytheon admits that they've lost $75 million since the Afghan withdrawal. So they were making incredible money, that the cost of $75 million for 20 years at least was considered more important than the toll on human lives, both American and Afghan, that ongoing conflict that cost you money generated. Biden says some documents will be released on the 15th of December this year. As a kind of little Christmas present. Here you go, it's almost Christmas. On the 12th day of Christmas, Joe Biden gave to me. There were the Cubans, there was the mafia, there was government agencies. 5 dead presidents, some Kennedys, Martin Luther King, and Joe Biden's presidency. All on the mic, yo! Some documents were released on the 15th of December this year, but not earlier, out of respect for the anniversary of President Kennedy's assassination. Respect the anniversary of an assassination. That's such a mad... This is full of mad concepts. Out of respect for President Kennedy's assassination, which I do respect. I respect that assassination. We're going to continue lying about it for just a bit longer. And when we do eventually tell you about it, we won't tell you any of the good stuff. The remaining documents will undergo an intensive one-year review and be released by 15th of December 2022. Still going to be, you've got to respect the anniversary then. This is never going to end. And that intensive one-year review, you know what that is. We're taking the good stuff out. Under the 1992 John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection Act, that's a mad act. They had to make an act for the records. Like, what kind of bureaucracy and administration has to create an act to continue to control information, only one that's interested primarily in the sustenance of its own systemic control and power, pretty much above all else? There has to be a different way. This is not the only reality that is possible, this mad bureaucratic swirl of nightmarish lies. All assassination records should have been publicly disclosed within 25 years or by October 2017, but postponements were allowed in instances that national security concerns outweighed public interest in disclosure. By whose reckoning? Who's reckoning? Because by the reckoning of the people that made that decision, it was cool for the NSA to be spying on your data. By that reckoning, we're continually operating behind a veil of occlusion, opacity and lies because of these people that we place trust and faith in, although increasingly we place those commodities, those rare and precious moral commodities, less and less in their hands. But regardless of that fact, the power remains with them. But for how much longer? For how much longer will you tolerate this? President Donald Trump in 2017 announced he planned to publicly disclose the remaining JFK files, only to delay the release of some files for national security reasons, setting a new deadline of October 26, 2021. In 2018, Trump did end up authorizing the disclosure of 19,000 documents, about 3/4 of which still contained some redactions. So again, for those of you, and I know that you're out there and I respect our right to disagree, of course I do, that's the thing I respect most of all, didn't really do anything different there. Almost 30 years since the act, the profound national tragedy of President Kennedy's assassination continues to resonate in American history and in the memories of so many Americans who were alive on that terrible day. So we will continue to utilize it for ongoing clandestine manipulation of your... Oh no, that's my statement. Biden wrote, "It's therefore critical to ensure the United States government maximizes transparency." Yeah, you've got to maximize transparency. Let's see the next bit. Except... when the strongest possible reasons counsel otherwise. And what are those strong reasons? Do you think it's for you? Is there any little bit of you thinks, thank God, I'm being protected from the truth about the assassination of JFK. I couldn't handle it. If I start thinking that the government are not trustworthy, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do if I find out that it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald. That's going to blow my little mind, which is sadly an inappropriate metaphor. I'd like to redact that joke. We'll do it again, 100 years. You might be ready then. Speaking after a screening of his doc, JFK Revisited, Looking Through the Looking Glass, Oliver Stone said he believes we will never get to the bottom of the many conflicting accounts of the assassination. Estimating there are still some 20,000 documents not yet released, the director said, "There's talk of Biden delaying it again on the basis of COVID. I mean, give me a break. It's Kafka time," which is unlikely to take on as a new dance craze, based as it is on the writing of the Czech surrealist Franz Kafka. But we'll get into that at some other point. But he wrote, of course, about endless bureaucracy, hypocrisy, and the lies of the powerful, and the impossibility to find a kind of sense of connection and reality when you're continually lied to, even about yourself, about morality, and all truth just becomes some sort of relativistic nightmare. Read some Kafka. So that's what I'd recommend to you. But that's just what I think. What do you think? What you think is more important than what I think? I've had my say. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you interested in these kind of things about conspiracies? Do you want to see me unravel and attack more, separate the silly ones from the real ones? What do you want to see on this channel? We are here for you. Without you, I'm just a man and one other man over there talking in a room, which we probably would continue to do, but it would have less merit, I think. But that's just what I think. Subscribe to the channel. Watch this little video over here. It's the sauciest little thing we ever done to ourselves. And this one over here teaches you how to meditate. Sign up to my mailing list here where I'll tell you what I'm reading, what I'm up to, how I'm trying to change myself in order that we may change the world together in peace. Stay free.